Marcus Kroek is a business coach, profit-first professional, and entrepreneur with over 40 years of experience helping business owners take control of their finances and build profitable, stress-free businesses. In this podcast, you'll get real-world strategies and practical insights to grow, increase profits, and create financial stability. Whether you're a tradie, a startup, or an established entrepreneur, Marcus's straightforward approach will help you build a thriving business. This is Business Unlocked.
Hello and welcome along to another episode of Business Unlocked. And I'm here today with another great business person from the Central Coast of New South Wales in Australia. Somebody who I've known through business, whom we've become very friendly with. I consider Mick one of those people I can turn to in business and in life. So Mick Goodwin, owner of Loyal I.T solutions based in North Gosford on the Central Coast of New South Wales, serving people with their needs in the computer industry, networking, all those sorts of things. He can explain it to you. Loyal I.T has been around for 22 years. We're going to talk to Mick about that longevity in business, what business is all about for him, and his key messages for you in business. Mick Goodwin, welcome along.
Thank you, Marcus.
22 years in business, staff have come and gone, team have come and gone. In my world, you're known for teamwork, for culture, living, I think, a good life, doing the right thing by people. But let's come back to you. This is all about some messages for people about what's important to them, what can help them in business. If there was one message that just comes to your mind straight away, or one idea about being in business, what is it for you?
Well, I guess we started Loyal I.T. It was a lifestyle choice.
Okay.
So not interested in working 80 hours a week and earning, a high six-figure salary. For me, it was, or for us, me and my wife who started the business, it was always about, I had three young sons, just started school, being present to them, and, having our weekends together, having holidays. Was never about setting the world on fire, taking over the world.
So lifestyle is truly the style of life I want to lead, because sometimes people get in their mind that lifestyle means, lifestyle of the rich and famous and all that.
Porsche and...
Yeah. It's family.
Yeah, spending time with my family. If I work more than 45 hours a week, I'm failing. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Why go into business to achieve that? Wouldn't that be easier just working for someone else where you can, switch off and go home?
Yeah, and sometimes I wish I took that path. But being your own boss has advantages and disadvantages. When you're your own boss, you can make decisions. You're not asking permission.
How important was that for you to do it with Julie, with your life partner, your wife along the way, as opposed to doing it yourself?
Yeah, doing it with Julie, we actually make a very good, we sort of balance each other out. Mm-hmm. Like she's head first running into things, let's make this happen. Whereas I'm sort of winding things back, hold on, let's think about this, let's consider it. It actually makes for great compatibility.
Yes.
But doing it with your life partner, I guess, they understand what you're going through at work. They understand sometimes you just got to put your head down and make things happen. Doing it with both your business partner and your life partner, sometimes it can make things more complex, but overall, you're supporting each other, you understand the situation each other are in, and you can make it work.
So it's a really interesting one for me, because for a lot of businesses where the life partners, husband and wife, whatever they happen to be, are working together, that's the strain on the relationship. How do you get to make that work? And understanding Julie's not so much part of the everyday business, but certainly in those early days, working side by side all the time, how do you get to make that work instead of having it the strain on your relationship?
Yeah, that's a great question. And sometimes it was the strain on our relationship. So neither of us had planned to be business owners. I always thought working in IT, working for big companies, I always thought that I would just always work for someone. We found ourselves in a situation 22.5 years ago where the option was to sort of take a bit of a gamble, start our own business, or go back and work for someone in Sydney, living on the Central Coast. That was a 4-hour a day commute, 2 hours there, 2 hours back. And because of the lifestyle, we took the plunge, took a risk, and 22 years later, here we are. But I guess we had to sort of set boundaries in those early days because neither of us had any running a business experience. So we're sort of learning on the fly. We were just sharing the stressful moments. And as I said, defining boundaries. So we're learning on the fly. And as we went along, we just had to sort of take a step back, set rules about how we spoke to each other or the roles each of us played in the business, especially once we started employing people. So then bringing other people into that team, the way you interact with each other is really important. So
I've got two questions there, and I hope I can remember the first one, the second one, because I can remember having a meeting with the two of you where we talked about those roles. And one of my things with partners, whether they be in a personal relationship or simply business partners, is how are you going to make decisions in this business? However you think of yourself, board of directors, whatever, that when there's a decision on the table, you could disagree, you could both agree. How do you make that decision with options of we both have to agree for it to go ahead, or one takes that role? And I remember that with sitting down with you and Julie to sort that out, because the aim of that is to overcome the personal problems that you're having that directors meeting each month. How did you sort that out for the two of you?
I think overall there was always like our personal relationship, I guess, was built on a pretty strong foundation. So there's always that love, care and support of each other that underlined everything. So sometimes we came to loggerheads over particular decisions, but at the end of the day, both of us, in caring for each other, we would come to a compromise and come up with a solution.
Does that become a bit like the political party room with, well, once the decision's made, we both support that decision going forward?
Yeah, exactly.
The other part of my question was actually you started to answer in a way, because I look at that, how do you become those people? And I look at you and Julie and the culture that you've built here. Your values are very similar. They come from within you. Could you talk about that and why that's important to you?
Yeah,
or what shared values might mean.
The way you conduct yourself in business, especially when you're a business owner, is you're going to run the business based on your personal values, your morals. And Julie and I are fairly well aligned with our personal values. So we both, respect, honesty, loyalty. A lot of the values we bring into our business and we expect of our team were values that were important to both Julie and I before we had started the business.
And so without going down the route of we've documented that and put it in folders and put it on the walls as you have, the simple version of that is it's about being the people that you are.
Yes.
And that's how you're going to conduct business. How do you think that's flowed through to the business?
I think 22.5 years down the track that our reputation in the local business community is a good one.
Yes.
I think we're well respected. And I believe we've learned when bringing employees into the business that we're not just hiring based on skill and we're not just hiring based on attitude, but we're looking for that values alignment as well. That's a really important part of who we bring into our team.
Yeah, so they've got to fit. But it doesn't mean that there's not some differences.
Correct.
Sometimes.
Yeah. And I often say when I employ someone, if I can get 70 or 80% of what I need,
Yes.
then you can make that work.
Yep.
If you're only getting 50%, then it's probably not going to work.
So you've got to have that values based, like this is who I am, this is the way I go about my life, to fit in with the business culture. So I'm hearing it's not, your business culture isn't something that's completely different from who you are.
Correct.
Morals, values, ethics, are the same things wherever you happen to be, and that's how you conduct yourself. You mentioned that you believe that you're respected, but I know firsthand from talking with people in the community and your own clients that you are highly respected. People are advocates, raving fans of Loyal IT, and a lot of that comes back to the way that you do business with them, and you also have that as formal statements. What does it mean to you to be respected? Sort of how do you feel about that? Is it important to you to hold that place in the community?
Yeah, definitely it is. We're a service-based business. We conduct business on trust. So if people don't trust us, then it's just not going to work. We're holding their information. We're giving them advice on how to run their business, how to protect their information. So if there's no trust there, it's just never going to work. Yeah. So because we're in a service-based industry, similar to your accountant, if you don't trust your accountant, then you're not going to be in a good place.
You go beyond that because yourself personally, as well as your team, get very involved in the community. Mm-hmm. Can you talk to us about some of the things you do and why you bother doing that?
Julie and I first met through St. Vincent de Paul Youth Group.
Okay.
So we were both at the age of 18 years old, volunteering to help our local community. Yes. So that's where we first met. So that was a value, even though I didn't realise that back when I was an 18-year-old boy, that was a value that was dear to me. It is really a very big part of my identity. Mm-hmm. So, we just believe, that we should support the community that supports us. So that's just a really important part of the identity of Loyal IT. And we don't just say that. I give my staff the ability to get involved in a charity or not-for-profit that they hold dear, and get involved with them. They can have some time out of their work day to get involved.
But if we go back to that, it's like the trust thing. You're not doing that. You're not working on being trustworthy to gain business. You're not working on being in the community for the publicity or credibility of it. That's just who you are.
Yep.
Yeah. And the same with the team. The purpose is to live out your values, I suppose, and help the community. It's because a lot of businesses, it's a marketing exercise. Mm-hmm. It's not we think this is a good thing to do.
Yeah. And look, we do use it as a marketing tool. We let people know what we get involved in.
Yes. But it's not the point.
No. The point is, I guess we're raising awareness of, areas that our society people might not be aware of.
Yes.
But it's also a team building and bonding exercise as well.
Yeah. What I'm saying is Zig Ziglar said, help enough people get what they want and you'll get what you want. But a lot of people do the end part of that first. Well, how do I get what I want? By helping people get what they want, instead of I'm going to go to the community and help them. And by the way, something might come back from that, but it's not the intention. The end result is to help the community. I see lots of businesses where it is a marketing exercise to go and do that purely and simple, and you look behind the scenes, they couldn't care less about what's going on.
I guess I also understand too that people that I employ might not have that as a personal value.
Sure.
They might not, before they've worked here, consider going out and volunteering or doing something, but creating that opportunity for them, it just opens their eyes, and I think it's a good personal development thing as well.
Yeah, and they don't have to if they don't want to.
No, No, most people do. And it's almost contagious, someone will come up with an idea because it's an agenda item at our weekly team meeting. We discuss how we engaged or supported our community in that week.
So it's a really good one. Let's touch on the weekly team meeting, because I see a lot of people struggle with that idea. I don't have time for it. What am I going to talk about? Is it a toolbox talk? What is it? Would you mind running us through some elements of what a weekly team meeting might involve? And the second part of that was, what's the value of doing that to yourself, to the team, to the business?
We identified very early on that we need to sit down and have a structured meeting on a weekly basis. Once again, service industry, and we've got systems. We log tickets when people have a problem, and, provided people fill out all the fields correctly, we gather the right data so that we can help that client as best we can. But there are just things that don't fit into a system where you just need to discuss it. So our Friday meeting, everyone needs to be there. The agenda is, every week we acknowledge country. We then whiffle what I feel like expressing. So we go around the table. People get 30 seconds just to share with the room where their head's at. And then we get into the crux of the meeting: phone messages, projects, sales report, marketing report. We have our ICU, so clients whose service experience hasn't gone to plan. We put them into the ICU and we talk about that on a weekly basis, what we're going to do in the coming week to make sure we restore their faith in us, and, WHS type stuff. Who's got leave coming up. There's a very structured agenda, but it's quite a relaxed atmosphere.
But you also do some recognition of team members in that?
Yeah, so every month, team member of the month and employee of the month. Employee of the month, everyone gets to vote their 3, 2, 1, who they're voting for, and then I just compile that and it goes to the person with the most points. Team member of the month, whoever received it previously gets to pass it on.
Okay.
And that's about who really in the past month in the team has really helped them to do their job, or they've noticed someone go above and beyond to make something happen. And they get to officially, mention that. And every month you get a trophy. And you also get a $100 gift card as well.
Oh, cool. That must go down well.
Yeah.
You have a culture statement, a code of honour that has been worked out with the team originally, is documented, does sit on your wall. It gets brought up in team meetings as well, how you're making sure that stays alive.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about how you do that?
So we have 3 tools we use to conduct business. So we have the FISH philosophy. We have our code of honor, which Marcus helped us develop. I don't know, it must be at least 15 years ago.
More.
Yeah. And then we have a customer service ethos. And these are just statements. The customer service ethos, for example, there's like 6 statements in there about how we treat our customers. Every week, the way we finish our meeting is that everyone has to give an example of how they've implemented the FISH philosophy or the code of honor or the customer service ethos into their working week.
Yeah. So that could sound as though, oh my God, they're making me do this stuff. But how does that come across for the team?
Yeah, it's a really good way of finishing the meeting and walking out the door, because it really is uplifting.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's a shared value. One of our values in our code of honor is team. And with the team I've got at the moment, it is one of the best teams I've ever had. Mm-hmm. Quite often someone will say, I'm choosing the value team this week because, we had one person on annual leave, one person was sick all week, but we all pulled together and we just made things happen, and we've got great systems and things just, ran like clockwork. And then someone else will go, yeah, look, absolutely that happened that week. That's what stood out to me. So sometimes it's a shared thing. 3 or 4 people might have the same example. We used to have a rule that you couldn't repeat what someone else has said, but I soon got rid of that, because sometimes there are weeks where we are just under the pump and we all just pull together and hold on to each other and get through it.
That to me sounds like a great endorsement of where we started with yourself and Julie, of shared values, supporting one another, lend a hand when you can. That's really flowing through to the team and how you do business.
Yeah.
So much more I could talk to you about. Is there a final message to leave with people?
I guess running a business and incorporating your own values, it means you're able to be relaxed and authentic. There's no act. If you've got to act and be someone you're not at work, that's going to take a lot of energy.
Yes.
So unless, I guess, you're an actor, right, then you have to.
Maybe.
And also, like I've never been that boss that is screaming at people to bill as many hours as they can. Because for me, or for us, it was always a lifestyle choice in starting the business. So whilst I won't carry someone, I expect people to pay their way. I just feel that if you look after keeping employees happy, keeping your customers happy, the bottom line should look after itself.
Cool. And I don't think I need to summarise this episode more than that great final statement. Mick Goodwin, thanks so much for being here. Absolute pleasure, as always, to chat with you and have you along and have you in my life. Thanks, Mick.
Thank you. And Marcus, I'll say thank you to you. So Marcus has been involved in our business for 17 of the 22 years. And yeah, Marcus has always just been very generous with his time and his knowledge, and has just been our go-to guy for a very long time.
Thanks very much, Mick. Thank you.